Hey everyone, welcome, 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 and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I guess it all depends on where you are on this planet today. My name is Claude Piché. I'm a senior product designer on the Adobe Spark team, and today I'm tuning in from Montreal, Canada. And today is a really special day in Canada because it's Canada Day. So I thought we would make this about Canada and really just doing a really nice story about Canada and our Montreal Canadiens teams right now. That's in the Stanley Cup final. So I thought I would represent and just put my shirt on. Sorry if it makes crazy noise for a second, but we're all good now. So I'm super excited to be part of this show called Like a Pro. And the whole point of this show is to encourage and inspire anyone. And when I say anyone, I mean marketers, I mean students, I mean small business owners to be able to create some professional looking content on their own using products like Adobe Spark, Adobe Rush, Photoshop Express, and all of our more consumer type of products here at Adobe. So, so the show is only there for 25 minutes. And yes, we're going to create an Instagram story like a pro in under 25 minutes. You might ask me, like, Claude, this is pretty intense. How you're going to be able to do that? Well, you're going to see in just a moment. So first, I'd like to also know where are people from on the chat? Do we have some Canadians in the house? Do we have some people in the US, Europe, Asia? Let me know in the chat where you're from. I can see you here, Sean, Umacorn, Kathleen. Good to see you too, Kathleen. It's been a while. All right. So since we have only 25 minutes and we want to create some really cool stuff, Paco, if you don't mind, just switching to my screen and we're going to get started in Spark. So for those who are new to Adobe Spark, Spark is a tool that allows you to create some great social media content for your social media. And Spark is also a web tool, so you don't need to download any apps to get started with Spark. You can start by opening your web browser, type in spark.adobe.com, and you're good to go. Spark is also 100% free, so you can go and create a limited amount of projects in Spark, and just like try to start your design skills and just start to get creative with Spark. So we're here on the logged in version of our home screen in Spark, and you can see here already that I can start to create all sorts of different projects. We have some Instagram story, Instagram posts, Facebook posts. You can also see the most recent projects that you've been working on. So you can just like pick up where you left off and just go edit them. But also Spark is a really template first type of experience where we have some professional designers creating all of these great templates for you. All of these 42,000 plus, going for 50,000 templates that you can just like start with it, get inspired by them and replace your own content in them. So you can see here, you don't need to worry about applying graphic design best practices. We have some professional in-house that are doing this for you. And also, you don't need to keep track with all the trends of designs changing. Our content is always fresh, and you can ensure that it will all like work for you and your brand. So if you click here on the Explore All Templates, you can see that we have tons and tons and tons of templates. You can search for all sorts of templates here. Let's type in hockey because, that's the theme here. You can see that we already have some great templates for hockey. But yeah, so that's search and the templates. You can also see here on the left, you can navigate to your previously made projects, some brands that you can create. So if you're a freelance designer, you could set up a brand that you can share with your clients so that they can create on their own. You're there as a creative pro, just setting up all the guidelines, setting up some templates, and then you can give them the keys and you can have them create using that content. But today, since it's all about creating an Instagram story, we're going to go back on this home screen and just click here on Instagram story. And what it does is that it opens our editor, and you're going to see that real quick. You can get started here. So there's two ways you can really start in Spark. You can start from scratch and just create from the blank page. I know that brings a lot of fear to people to just start from the blank canvas. And that's why we have our templates here that you can just start from instead. One big thing to know about Spark is that on the left side here is all elements and templates that you add to the canvas, and all the way here on the right is to adjust the settings and just make inputting your own text and content here on the right. That's basically how this all works. And then here at the top, you can download. You can also invite someone in to collaborate and work with you if you want to share that project with someone else. So since today, I'm going to start from a template. I know really what I want to create in mind. I want to create an Instagram story that will be a fan that I'm trying to encourage my team, the Montreal Canadiens. So I want a template that is simple. And the things with templates is that they don't need always match one for one with the idea that you have in mind. You can always take a look just at the layout of a template and be like, oh, that's something quite simple that I could use. So for example, today I'm going to start with this template here. I know it has a cutout image. It's quite simple overall. I like the aesthetic of this font. So I'm like, all right, cool. Let's start from this template. So what it does is that it'll grab you the template in a second. And then once it does, you'll be able to just get started. So you see now I have this template. And the first thing I want to do is to start to add my own content in here. So you can see here that I can just select the image and then go ahead and replace it with my own image. So I hit the replace button here at the top right, and then I see that I can upload my own photo in the system, or I can find some free photos. So for example, here, I could type anything. Again, I'm going to type in hockey. You can see that, you're going to have a bunch of results that you don't need to leave the editor to go download some photos. You can just do everything inside that editor. We also connect directly with Lightroom, libraries, your Dropbox, Google Photos, and Google Drive as our different APIs that we connect with. But today I want to upload a photo from my desktop. My wife took a beautiful photo of me and my son, Eddie, yesterday. And you can see that it was raining a bit here, but you'll see that with Adobe Spark, you're going to be able to just fix all of this. So I can just click upload my photo. And the thing that it'll do here, you'll notice, I had a background on my photo, but by replacing an image to an already placed image in the template, will automatically apply the same effect that image had. So it's transferring all the style, it's applying the cutout, and you can see right away in Spark, I was able to just cut out the image in one click. And we'll get to this a bit more in a bit too. So one thing here is that it also applies all the effects that came with the image. So you'll see here, it applies this lighten effect. But since I want these colors to pop and look really good, I'm going to turn off that filter for now. And you can see now that the red and the blue and the white from that shirt is just popping on the photo. So the next thing that I like to do, you see that we still have a lot of content from that original template, and we want to start to make it our own. So I'm going to start to go elements by elements and just swapping out these assets with stuff that matters and stuff that I think works for my story that I want to post and encourage my Montreal team that needs to win the Stanley Cup this year. It's been 28 years since we haven't won the cup, so that would be awesome. So I can click here on the background here, and again, just that workflow of replacing assets for stuff that I like. You can see here that it selected the backgrounds on the left side nav here, and I'm gonna type in ice. I want a background of ice and some texture. And you can see here, if I search for ice, you see a bunch of photos of probably cold Canada, actually, but I'm not looking for actual mountains or trees, but more of a texture. And I see this beautiful texture here of ice that it applies. But again, you might say, Claude, that's a little weird. Like, why is it bring this duotone effect? It's because it was already pre-applied on the actual image. And the easy way to turn this off is just by turning off the filter here on the left. But you can also apply some other effects. So in that case, I would like a grayscale. So I click on the grayscale here, and then you can see also that like, and by the way, all of these effects here on the right and these imaging effects are powered by Photoshop. So the idea here is that we take some of the key features of Photoshop and making them accessible to the world via a web editor. So you really, really are playing with the power of Photoshop and the history behind it and all the years of refinement of imagery editing, but we make it super easy for you to use in Spark. So you can see here that applied some effects. I want to boost this brightness in the background. I want to increase also the highlights, but not that much. I can just refine this a bit. So it gives a really nice background. I'm going to resize this a bit here. And the next thing that I'd like to play with is to change the content. So you can see here that I have the quick chat with CEO Amy Grant. That doesn't really make any sense in my story. So I'm going to ungroup this here and then just change the content with my own. So you can see here by double clicking on the quick chat, I can change it to go abs go. So for the people here that don't really know hockey or the Montreal Canadiens, Habs is the short name for the Montreal Canadiens, and it really means the word habitant, and it's really the nickname we have, and it's really, you say go Habs go, and that's our saying. And I have a question around here on the chat from Unicorn. Double check that Claude didn't remove the background first, right? So yes, the way it worked there is that the actual image that was in that template had already a removed background applied on it. So when I brought in my own image with it, it automatically applied the same exact effects. So so that, I hope it answers your question. I'm going to also play with some remove background. I'm looking at time here. I just want to make sure we get to a lot of more content here. So I'm just going to speed things up a bit. So I can remove the shadow here. I can play with some text. You can see all sorts of stuff you can do with text. Real quick, I'm just going to show some really fun one-type feature. You can see here, I can do some curved text. You know, like in one tap, I'm able to do some really fun stuff, rotate things around. I can do some a full circle if I wanted to. Now I don't have enough text in here. You would probably need to type in again to create this fun little badge looking type lockup that are really trendy in the world of design. But for now, I really want to have just this placed this way, and then I'm just going to make it so it fits the width here, and then I'm going to apply a outline effect that I'm going to change the color to white, and I want to make this transparent text. I have this fun looking outline text that is pretty trendy, and the next thing that I'd like to do is to duplicate this text. So I'm going to move in, delete this listen now, and move out my photo a bit. And then I'm going to duplicate this layer a couple times here. So bear with me a second. And then just duplicate this again. See here. One more time. One more time. I really wish I would have that repeat grid feature from XD. Maybe one day we'll have that in Spark. But you can see still I can do some fun. And this doesn't need to be fully perfect for now. The next thing I want to do is just to group all of this together so that it all comes. This, you can do Command G on a Mac or just click this group icon here and you can see everything was grouped here. So then I stick my photo on top and then you can see this is looking pretty sharp overall. I think it's missing a bit of emotion in here. And what's best than bringing emotion from bringing the players in? So I have a great photo here of our team when they won and went to the final. So I'm just gonna upload this image here, and you'll see it's gonna take a quick moment, and then I have the photo here. So again, I showed that earlier. I'm gonna show it again, but the idea here is that I can, in one click, remove the background out of this image. So I click remove background. And personally, I have been doing graphic design for over 12 years now, and I've always had my doubts around features like this. But you know, in 2021, it's now possible to do stuff like that. So you can see it did cut out the image really nicely. We have this little messy part here, that one player that was not fully in the frame. So what I'll do is that I'll refine the cutout just by brushing it out really quick. This is not Photoshop, this is Spark. I'm in a web browser right now, and I'm able to do some fun and really powerful type of imagery type of feature. And then you'll say now that, like, Claude, there's a problem here. We need to bring you at the top. So we have this feature called visual reorder, which is basically, for the creative professional out here, is making layers accessible and make them easy to use for anyone in the world, because it's all about that. Spark is all about empowering anyone to be able to get up to speed and design some fun stuff. So far, like, it's been pretty easy. So I can take my photo, drag it on top, and then it's just gonna, bring the photo like this here. So the next thing I want to do is to apply a filter on this image, and I'm gonna apply a grayscale filter. And then I just want to tone down the opacity a bit, just to make it like a bit like more collage, where it's like kind of like in the background here, and just bring this here, maybe play a bit with the actual brightness of this image. And then just play with the highlight, shadow. Again, these are all like features that come powered by Photoshop here. So you can see I start to like just, do this. The next thing I want to do is that hopefully this year will be the year. Again, we haven't won a Stanley Cup since 1993. So I want to bring in this image of the Stanley Cup, perform again. Probably my favorite feature of Spark is the remove background. Works like a charm. And you can see here I have the Stanley Cup. I'm just gonna bring this over, just slide that down. And I just wanted to apply really a blend mode here. So we have also blend modes available in Spark. You can see here I can apply a screen blend mode. And the idea here is that we want to stay somewhat subtle with the Stanley Cup, have it a bit like a collage in the background. By the way, I can share you a bit of the inspiration of where the Montreal Canadiens are doing these always fun type of collages that you would think it takes hours to do, but already here in like the instance of 20 minutes, we're getting to something somewhat similar. So yeah, it's getting pretty cool already. I think it's missing a bit of color. So I want to show you our design assets. So we have thousands and thousands of design assets that you can simply drag and drop to the canvas. You saw earlier that we have thousands and thousands of templates, but we also have these design assets. We also have these type lockups that you can bring in. So if you want to simply be inspired to add a piece of text here, you can simply click on this, and then it adds it to the canvas, and then you can just replace it with your own content. So let's go back to design assets quick. I'm looking for a brush. So we have all these preset brushes here that we have, and these are all really, really high fidelity PNGs. So I can go here, go in the acrylics, and then I see this awesome red acrylic that would really match the look and feel I'm going for with the Montreal Canadiens story. So you can see here, I can just drag again with the visual reorder, just bring this to the background. And the goal here is to just add like a nice splat of color somehow to just like bring a bit of energy to this background. So you can see here, it also works really great, the multi-select, when you start to have a lot of elements on the canvas, so you can easily select anything on the canvas. So that's great. It's shaping up quite a bit. You can start to just like play around, move stuff around, but I do feel like it's somewhat static. So the next thing I want to show you is all around animations. So usually you would, do animations using Pro Tools like After Effects or Premiere or anything. But to get started and to do some somewhat simple animation, Spark includes a lot of fun animation you can play with. So you can see here by clicking on the right side here, I clicked on animation, and I can start to play with these different animation. And then you can see here in the background, it starts to move my text around, doing some fun animation, just yelling the "Go Abs Go" in the background. So I could already see how this would be cool if I, download this and add it to my Instagram. It brings, it brings a great hockey vibe, in my opinion. So I think I'm pretty happy overall with this animation that I have. I can preview it always here from the bottom left. And then you can see how it appears. Let's explore a few more ones here and see this. This is doing to the text. You can see that the text could slide in, it could grow. These are less, you can see some zooming animation here. I just want to keep this somewhat simple and limit it to the actual text. I'm going to go back to what I had here with the just flickering Go Abs Go happening in the background. So again, if you have some questions here in the chat, please let me know. Sorry, I will scroll back here. I think, yeah, we have some great comments around remove background. We have some hockey fans talking about Toronto and Boston, our biggest rivals, which are great hockey teams too. So yeah, the last part that I want to show is that you could, I think we should add we need a logo. We need the Montreal Canadian logo to be right there, probably at the top. Just a second. And then we would almost be done with this, just like that. So wait, what? It took how much time? How much time to create a professional looking Instagram story like a pro using Spark, which is a non-professional tool that can be used by professional. Sometimes, even as a professional, you tend to seek for inspiration. I tend to go on Spark to just look at the beautiful templates we have, just being aware of all these latest trends. And sometimes I need to create something fast. I don't want to overthink it. For example, if it's a birthday card, I can easily just search for birthday cards and do it real fast, because you tend to forget about these things and do it last minute, so you don't have all the time in the world to do so. Couple of things, like I said earlier, you could invite someone to collaborate with. So you could type in just the email address of that person. That person could be right there opening the project, and then you can download this too. So the next thing that I would do here is to download this. I can also open it on the phone and post directly to social media. So yes, like I said in the beginning, Spark is a web tool, but also is available on iPhone and Android, so that you can just really design on the go and be really efficient with your phone there. This is the graphic tool of Spark. In Spark, you can also create some web pages, which with Spark Page. So that's an example of a web page I built for a friend that has a Airbnb that was that wanted to give some directions to every host that comes in to their house, right? So instead of having a piece of paper inside the house with the different rules and directions on the actual how everything works in the Airbnb, I decided to make a Spark page for her so that she can send to all of her hosts. Our clients, so that they can read ahead of time. So you can see here, just with having beautiful photos and beautiful content, you can build a web page. And really, this took me probably 45 minutes to build. So that's really great. Just going back to our story here, I know it's already 8:55. So we're gonna wrap up in a bit. I hope that you've learned some stuff today about Spark and how you might use it in the future. We have a upcoming live stream on July 22nd, and I'll be with my friend and colleague Chloe McConnell, and we're going to talk especially about the fact that how you can create some content that looks on brand with libraries in our brands feature. So how you, as a creative professional, that you can empower a whole marketing team and give them the keys to your creative process and bring them with you. So again, thanks a lot for tuning in today, and we'll see you soon. Hit me up on social media if you have any questions about Spark. Thank you.